Welcome to the course Unix Shell Programming. Myself S. Nag Malikraj, Assistant Professor CSE Department from Vignan Institute of Information Technology. Today we are going to start Unit 4. So these are the contents that are present in the Unit 4. So in Unit 4, if you see the content, these are very useful commands or default built-ins that is present in the shell. Or with the help of these commands or these built-in functions, it is very useful to run the shell programming very smoothly. Now let us see the contents that is present in the Unit 4. One is, again, we are going to discuss about shell variables. So what is the meaning of variable, how we are going to define the variables, how we are going to access the variables, that means dollar variable name, like that. We are going to discuss the shell variables. And what is the meaning of export command? That means how we are going to export the variables to the child shell. That thing we are going to discuss in the export command. And next one, the read command. If you want to get the values from the user, that is possible only with the help of read command. Next, we see the positional parameters. But this thing already we discussed in the Unit 3. Positional parameters, we seen that the parameters are the arguments that are providing at the command prompt. That arguments are known as command line arguments. That is also called as positional parameters. And what is the meaning of $question mark? That is nothing but exit status. Not only that, more about the set command. Nothing but how we are going to provide the values to the positional parameters. That is possible only with the help of set command. Next, exit command. How we are going to exit the current working shell. That is possible with the help of exit command. Next, this is all about EXPR up to here. EXPR, that means expressions, how we are going to evaluate mathematical calculations. That thing we done with EXPR. Next, what is the meaning of here document? Now let us see what is the meaning of sleep command and how we are going to use the script command and how it is useful to the user. And next, evaluation command and the execute command. So this is the content that is present in the Unit 4. So today lecture 1 is about shell variables and what is the meaning of export command and how we are going to use the read command. These are the three topics that we are going to cover in the lecture 1. One is shell variables, export command and read command. So this is the content that is present in this lecture 1 is we are going to discuss about shell variables and the export command and the read command. So after completion of this lecture, students able to know how to use the shell variables and students can differentiate the meaning of local variables, special shell variables and environmental variables. Not only that, students able to know how to export the variable to the child shells. Next, students able to know how to take input from the user through the read command. Now, while coming to variable introduction, let us see first of all what is meaning of variable. So, a variable is a location in memory where values can be stored. So, each shell allows us to create and to store and access the values in variables. Before that, let us see what is the meaning of variable. Consider this example. Assume one glass is there. In that glass, it is filled with some water or some water is stored in this glass. So what we will do, whenever we want, we can consume that water. In this way, we can treat this glass is as a variable and this water is nothing but value. That means a variable can store the value. If you want to access that value, with the help of that variable name, we can access. So this is a variable. It contains some name. A variable can store any value. It may be numbers, it may be strings, whatever it may be. A variable stores some value. So that is we are saying here, a variable is a location in memory where values can be stored. So when we are creating this variable, it contains some memory allocation. So we no need to bother about memory allocation. So with the help of variable name, we are going to access that particular value. So this is all about the variable introduction. So while coming to classifications of variables, there are three main types of variables are present. While coming to first one is local variables. Let us see what is the meaning of local variables. So in local variables, local variables is also known as user defined variables. That means these variables was created by the users. After creating of these users, we can use those variables in that script only. So that is the meaning of local variables. While coming to second one, environmental variables. So let us see what is the meaning of environmental variables. An environmental variable is available to any child process of the shell. Whereas local variables, it is available to that shell only, particularly to that shell only. But whereas environmental variables, it is available to any child process of the shell. Now let us see. Third category of variable is shell variables. So shell variable is also called as some special kind of variables, and to run the functioning smoothly, we can use these shell variables. A shell variables may be a local variables or environmental variables. Let us see one by one. Local variables, we already said this is also known as user defined variables. Here, these variables are defined by user. So a shell allows us, we can create, we can store, and we can access the variables. So some temporary data will stored in that variable. Whenever you want, we can access that value that present in that variable. So all this is about local variables. While coming to syntax, variable name is equal to variable value. Let us consider some example. Here syntax, variable name is equal to value. That means here this first one, this dollar indicates shell prompt. We are using here Bourne shell, and after that sum is there, variable name. So this is nothing but variable name. So we know already the syntax is variable name is equal to variable value. So after that is equal to is assignment operator, and after that 10 is there, that is nothing but value. So here the value 10 is assigned to this variable, the name is sum. When you are accessing the sum, we can get the value is 10. So this is the syntax, variable name is equal to value. Let us consider second example we written here, some branch is equal to CSC. So this CSC, this word is stored in this variable branch. So we already know that a variable can hold maybe digits or words, whatever it may be. So name is equal to, within double quotation I am writing here some Naga space, Malik space, Rag. So this entire thing we treated as a value. This will stored in this variable name. The name is, variable name is here name. When we are accessing this one, we get the answer is this one, Nag Malik Rag. In this way we are going to define the variables. So the syntax is variable name is equal to value. While defining the variables, we have to keep in mind, or we can make important note is, for this is equal to operator or assignment operator, space will be avoided before and after the assignment operator. That means white space is not at all allowed before and after the assignment operator. For example, consider this one, variable name, without any white space we have to write like this, assignment operator and value. So this is the correct way for defining the variable. If we write like this, variable name, some white space, after that is equal to 10, this is the wrong assignment. Or variable name without any space is equal to, and if white space provided after the is equal to, and if you write like this, then this is also a wrong. So we have to write without any white spaces before and after the is equal to. So this is one important note. So while defining the variable name without any white space character is equal to assignment operator, and again without any white space, and again we have to write value. So variable is equal to value. Now while writing the variable names, we have to follow some rules. Let us see what are the rules. Variable names may comprise uppercase and lowercase alphabetic characters, and it may contain some digits, some 0 to 9 and underscores. Only the special character only it allows while writing the variable name. No other special character will be allowed while writing the variable name. And second rule is, a user defined variable name cannot start with a digit. So let us see how it will start and what are the rules are there. And we see one third point is, as with most things in Unix, variable names are case sensitive. Now let us consider this first example. Variable names may contain upper and lowercase letters. That means it will allow us lowercase A to Z and uppercase A to Z and digits 0 to 9 and only one special character, that is underscore. With the help of these lowercase a to z, capital letters a to z and digits 0 to 9 and one and only the special character underscore, we can utilize any of the combination while writing the variable name. But while considering the second one, a user defined variable name cannot start with a digit. So let us consider some variable names, how we are going to write, or what are the valid names or what are the invalid names. We can write like this. So first letter is in uppercase and remaining two letters are lowercase. So it is acceptable for writing the variable name. All lower cases also, it is also right. Yes, it is also alphabetic lowercase sum, and after that we are writing the digit. So after the any occurrence, it is also valid, any digit, and again lowercase, uppercase, whatever it may be, it is valid. But starting with digit is not right. For example, if you write like this, with starting with digit 2 and sum, this variable name is not acceptable because the variable name is never started with digits. It may start with lowercase, uppercase of alphabets, or one more is there, it may be start with underscore also. That means we can write like this. This is valid, but a variable name never start with digits. Next, we can write like this also. This is also valid because we are not writing here any white space. Here we are writing some underscore OF underscore 2. So this is valid name. But if you write like this, this is invalid. Some space of space 2. This is invalid syntax because here we are writing white space. So white spaces are not acceptable. So these are the valid syntax and invalid syntax while writing the variable name. So it can allows us uppercase and lowercase of alphabetic characters and digits 0 to 9 and only the symbol underscore only it allows. So your user cannot define variable name and cannot start with a digit. So without starting with digit, we can write either it will be lowercase and uppercase of alphabet, or it may start with underscore. Next, it is case sensitive. So it will treat it as, for example, in uppercase FOO is there and all lowercase is there. It will treat as two in different variable names because variable names are case sensitive. So these are all the rules while writing the variable name. We've seen how we are going to define the variables and what are the rules that we have to follow while writing the variable names. Now let us see how we are going to access the values that are present in the variable. Now the topic is accessing values which is present in that variables. So to access the values, it prefixes its name with the $sign. I will explain with example. Let us consider here, this $sign is not a character, this is indicates shell prompt. That means which type of shell we are using. That means this is Bourne shell. So this indicates shell prompt. Okay. After that we are writing here, this is variable name, without any white space character we are writing here. So is equal to assignment operator and 5 indicates value. So this is the first line what we are writing here. This is shell prompt, not this one what we are saying here. Prefixes its name with $sign. Prefixes its name with $sign. So this is not the $sign. This dollar indicates shell prompt. Now let us see the second line. Here first line, this one indicates we are defining the variable and with the declaration of the value. So variable is equal to value. Now let us see in second line how we are going to access the value that is present in the variable. Now consider this syntax. Again this is the first dollar indicates shell prompt, that is Bourne shell. Now we know that echo command, what it will do means whatever the argument we are writing here, that will print as it is to the standard output. That means standard output here indicates monitor. So what the argument we are passing to echo command is echo space. If you observe here carefully, this count name is this variable name. Count is nothing but here variable name, count, that is variable name. Before that variable name, now we are writing here dollar sign. This one, dollar sign. That means this is not shell prompt. This is dollar sign. With the help of this dollar sign, this complete syntax indicates now we are getting to access the value that is present in the count. That means if count contains the value 5, so complete replacement of this dollar count is 5. So for echo the argument is 5. So that's why in output on standard output it displays the value 5. That means if you want to access the value that is present in the variable, we have to write the syntax dollar sign and variable name. Then what happens means with the value it will replaces. The value that is present in the variable name it will replace with this syntax. So this indicates dollar variable name. Without any space we have to write dollar sign next variable name. So with the help of this dollar sign we are going to access the value that is present in that variable. Now let us see a small comparison between this Bourne shell and C shell. In C shell we use set command to define the variable, where in Bourne shell no need of write this set command. So let us see here, we are writing here we are writing set space count is equal to 5. So with the help of this set command it will set this value 5 to this variable name count. Here variable name is count. Whereas in previous explanation in Bourne shell how we are writing shell prompt just count is equal to value. So no need of any set command to define the variable. But whereas in C shell we have to write this set command. So another example, set space size is equal to 10. So while coming to accessing the value that is present in the variable, both in Bourne shell and C shell both are same. That means with dollar sign and variable name. So same syntax that we have to follow in both shells, C shell and Bourne shell. Only in defining the variable only little difference is there. In C shell we have to write the set command, and whereas in Bourne shell no need to write any set command. We can write directly or straight away the variable name is equal to value. But in C shell we have to write set space variable name is equal to value. So now let us consider another example. Here with the help of VI editor, now we are going to create one program, one shell script program. The name is demo1.sh. The shell script name is demo1. So demo1.sh. So this is the shell script. In demo1.sh, these are the statements that are present. Here we are declaring total 3 variables. Let us consider first variable is var1. We are assigning 10 value. So variable 1 is equal to 10. In second variable it contains variable is equal to CSC. And third variable we are assigning 2 words with the help of double quotation. So complete these 2 words will save into the variable 3. Like that we are creating 3 variables and we are assigning one integer value, one word and one string. So in Unix we no need to declare any data type to the variable. Like in other languages we can write for example int a. That means only it stores integer values. If float b, it only stores the float values. So just we write the variable name, it can store any type of data, whether it is an integer, whether it is a float, whether it is a string. Now after that print statements with the help of echo statement, I am writing here the value of var1 is. So I want to access the value present in this one. So with the help of dollar sign and the variable name. So in output it will replaces here with 10. Like that echo, the argument is complete this argument, and here we are accessing the variable or accessing the value that is present in that variable. The syntax is dollar variable name. We know that the value present in here is CSC. Similarly this is argument, and here dollar var3, that means dollar indicates For this variable name, what is the value that is present? We are accessing that one. So it will comes like this VAIT space CSC. Now let us consider this output. For execution, we are to write like this sh space again that file name demo1.sh. So these are the three outputs because we are writing here three echo statements. The first echo statement is this one. If you observe here, why this 10 value came is we are writing here $var1. That means we are trying to access the value that is present in var1. So that's why 10 value came. And next statement is the value of var2 is CSC. Why CSC came is we are accessing with the dollar sign and the variable name var2. We know that var2 contains CSC. That's why the answer is CSC. And third statement is the value of var3 is VAT CSC. Why this value came is here we are writing here $var3. We know that var3 holds this data VAT space CSC. That's why the data is presented here. So this is the example how we are assigning the values or how we are defining the variables and how we are accessing the values. Now consider this another example. Unassigned variables value is null. That means if you are assigned any value to the variable, if you are accessing that variable, that value will come. For example, a is equal to 10. So here we are assigning some value, 10 value to the variable a. If we are trying to access that variable, the answer is ultimate 10. Now in this situation, unassigned variable values, if one variable is there, for example a is equal to 10, here we are assigning value 10 to this variable name. If we access like this $a, ultimate the answer is 10. So here is no problem. Now our question is straight away if I am trying to write like this, that means we are not assigning any value to that variable a. Now if you are trying to access that variable, what is the answer means? The answer is null. So the answer is null. Why null came is we are not at all assigning any value to that variable. If you are trying to access such type of variables, ultimate the answer is null. So let us consider one program. Here I am creating one demo3.sh. In that code is, if you observe the code is, let us observe the code. In first line itself I am trying to print echo the value of var1 is $var1. We know that what is the meaning of this one? Dollar indicates we are trying to access the value present in that variable var1. But before the statement, no statement is there assigning the value to that var1. That means here we are trying to access the variable which is not assigned with any value. Now see next one, now we are assigning var1 is equal to 567 with some value. Now we are assigning. In third statement the value present in var1, so the value of var1 is $var1. So here if you observe two different points, here we are not assigned any value to this variable, here we assigned some value to the variable. So this is the finally output. So sh space demo.sh. So sh space demo.sh. To execute that program we have to write like this sh space demo.sh. Now these are the two statements. This first echo statement is this one. So this is the statement for the first echo statement, and this is the statement for second echo statement. So let us see here the value of var1 is here empty. This indicates null. Why in that place $var1 in that place, why it is empty? That means why that null came? Because we are not assigning any value to that variable, but we are trying to access that variable. That's why the answer is null. In second statement the value of var1 is 567. Now answer came or some value came. Why means now we are assigned some value to this variable, for that we are accessing, so answer is 567. So in this demonstration we shown that unassigned variable values is null. Now let us see some uses of local shell variables. If you consider some in two ways, one is setting path names. In setting path names, if you are using the path name in several times in a shell script, rather than that, we can assign that path name to a variable and we can use that variable name as an argument to the particular command. And next one, using command substitution. We know that how we are going to substitute that command. Within backquotes, we have to write the command. So variable is equal to command substitution. Like that also we can assign. So let us consider that example, how we are going to assign. For example, here we are writing some content to this file 1. The content is welcome to session shell variables. This is the content that is present in the file 1. If you type the command cat space file 1, this content will come welcome to session shell variables. Now here I am writing wc command file 1. We know that what is the output. wc means word count. So how many lines are there? How many words are there? How many characters are there in that file name? So this is the output. We know total 35 characters are there. 5 words are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words and only 1 line. So this is the meaning of number of lines, number of words, number of characters. This is the file name. Now let us see. Here I am creating one program, demo.sh. In that shell script, this is the following code. Size is equal to, size in the sense variable, is equal to, this entire thing is we treated as a value. What is that value? Within backquotes we are writing. That means this entire thing is command substitution. Here the syntax is wc space option c less than symbol file 1. That means for wc command we are writing option c. That means we need only number of characters. Through input direction we are giving the file 1. So in that file 1, how many characters are there? Only the answer is how many characters are there. It will never give the output number of lines, number of words, because we are using the option C. If you are using option L, it will give only number of lines. If you use option W, it will give number of words. But here we are using option C. So this is command substitution. So after executing this command straight away, the answer is for this entire thing, it will substitute with, we know that number of characters is 35. So first of all it will execute this command. After that it substitutes with the answer is 35. Now variable is equal to value. Now size is equal to 35. Now whenever you are going to access this variable size, the answer is 35. Let us see here. Echo the size of a file is, we are writing here $size. We know that what is the value of size? 35. So we can assign command substitution to the variable also in this way. So if you execute sh space demo.sh, the size of a file is 35. So in this way we can use the local shell variables. So using command substitution. Now read-only variables. Read-only variables means if you want to mark the variable as a constant, that means only read-only, with the help of read-only command we can mark that particular variable as a constant variable. That means we cannot change the value of that particular variable. Whenever you are writing one value to that variable, it will be constant or it will be fixed. We cannot change the value of that particular variable. Why? Means we are declaring that variable as a read-only variable. That means if you are declaring the read-only for the any particular variable, that indicates that variable is a constant value. We can't change the value to that variable. Let us consider some examples. Here we are creating one program. The program name is, or the shell script name is demo5.sh. These are the 3 statements that are present in the demo5.sh. In first statement, variable is var is equal to 789, var1 is equal to 789. So variable is equal to value. We are assigning 789 to this value to this variable. Now I am declaring read only. This is the command, read only command to this variable. We are assigning for this variable var1 with read only. Now this indicates we can't change the value that is present in this variable. Just for only it will be used for only the read only. Just we can print the value that is present in var1, but we can't change, we can't alter the value that is present in the var1. Just for printing purpose only or just for accessing purpose only we can use. Why means this was declared by read only command. Now if you see here echo, the value is $var1. What is the answer is 789. After execution sh space demo5.sh, so the value is 789. So here no problem because just we are declaring the variable and after that we are assigning read only command to that particular variable. Now we are printing that variable. So here no problem. Now let us see in another way. Consider this example. This is the program name. In the program 1, 2, 3. These are the three statements that are present in that program. Here var1 I am assigned with 789. That means assume this is variable. Name is var1. First it is stored 789. After that in second statement again I am writing here var1 is equal to 222. That means it will overwritten with new value. That means now this var1 contains not 789. It contains 222. It contains 222. Why means we are assigning again new value to this existing variable. That way old value will overwritten with new value. Now var1 contains 222 not 789. If you want to print that var value, so in execution if you observe here the value is 222 not 789. Here we not at all declared any read only option. That's why we can change with any value to that variable. So we can change with any new value. Now consider here another program demo6.h. In this total 4 statements are there 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 statements that are present in this program. First one var1 is equal to 789. Now this is the variable var1 variable name. Now present value is 789. Okay. Now we are assigning the command read only to this variable 1. That means we can't change the value that is present in var1. That is constant value. Now I am trying to access here. Third statement is var1 is equal to 222. So now if I am trying to access to change this value with 222, it will not allow to us to overwritten with new value. Why means this var1 is declared with read only command. So it can't give access to change the old value with new value. Let us see if you want to try to print $var1. So this is the execution sh space demo6.sh. If you observe here error will generate. What is this error indicates? var1 this variable is read only variable. Why this error generates means we are trying here to change the value that is present here. That's why it generates error. Previously it not error generates because previous example that is not read only command. That means we can change with any value. But here if we declared here read only, then we have no permission to change with new value. That's why one error will generate. That means the following script generates an error while trying to change the value of a particular variable name. If you are trying to change, error will generate. So this is the meaning of read only command. Now unsetting variables. Unsetting variables means if you want to delete the variables from the shell, we will use this unsetting variable. The syntax is unset space variable name. So let us consider some example. Another program name is this one demo2.sh. These are the 4 statements that is present in that script demo2.sh. In first one var1 contains some value 5678. Second one I am declaring like this echo the value of var1 is $var1. That means we are trying to access the value present in var1. So ultimate the answer is 5678. We know that. Now here I am writing unset. That means now I am deleting the variable that is previously what I declared. That is the syntax unset var1. So after execution of this statement unset var1, now var1 is not at all existed. That means in that var1 no value, nothing is there. Now I am trying to print the value present in var1. Again echo the value of var1 is $var1. Previously it contains value, but here we are already unset that variable. That means we already deleted that variable. Now what is the answer here? In starting session also we seen that null will present. Why null will present? Because we already deleted that variable with the help of unset command. Now let us see the output here. For this first echo statement, the value is 5678. For this second echo statement here, null is there. Why 5678 not came means, here we are writing here unset var1. That means we already deleted this variable. That's why null value is presented in this variable. So that's why here empty, that indicates null. In this way we are going to unset the variable. That means we are trying to delete the already existing variable with the help of unset command. So last one is environmental variables. The environmental variables controls the user environment and can be exported to subshells. So these variables are in uppercase letters, and with the help of these two commands, print env and env commands, it prints all the environmental variables that are present. So if you want to list out what are the environmental variables present in our shell, with the help of these two commands, print env and env commands, with the help of these two commands, we can list out what are the environmental variables that are present in my current shell. This is the example here. If you observe env, this is the command. We know that env, or we can write print env. With the help of these two commands, it will list out all the existing environmental variables like this. So it will all list out the environmental variables. So with the help of these two commands, we can check what are the environmental variables. For example, if you observe here some important one, username. If you observe here starting, all these are environmental variables within uppercase letters. Username, one of the environmental variable here is Nag Malikraj. So this is the username, like that. Common environmental variables, one is user. With the help of this environmental variable user, the current logged in user, the details will come. With the help of home environmental variables, the home directory of the current user will display, like that. If you use this shell, the path of the current user shell, such as bash or csh. If you want to know which shell we are using, with the help of this shell variable, it will give that answer. Log name, the name of the current user, and language, the current locality settings, and mail, location of where the current user's mail is stored, like that. Whatever you want, with the help of these environmental variables, these are the variables. With the help of these users, we can get the particular output of the existing shells. Now let us consider some examples. Here I am writing echo command $home. We know that home means this is in uppercase we are writing, that too this is environmental variable. If you want to access the value present in this environmental variable, with the help of again $. So for this answer is this one. So root, in that root home is there, in that home this username is there, like that. Entire path will displace with the help of this environmental variable. Next, if you want to check the shell, I want to know the details of the shell. So for that, environmental variable is shell in uppercase letter. So echo space $shell. The answer is bash shell. If it is she shell, answer is csh, like that. If it is conch shell, ksh. So if you want to know the which shell we are using, then we will use this environmental variable shell. So to access the value that present in this environmental variable, we will use this $. Another one is echo space $user within capital letters. So always the environmental variable we have to write in uppercase letters only. So if after this execution of this one, Nag Malikraj is nothing but the user name of this shell. Like that, we are going to use these environmental variables. To summary, we seen that introduction of variables and what are the types of variables. Local variables or predefined variables, environmental variables, shell variables, and we've seen that defining and accessing the variables, and with the help of read command how we are assigning the constant value, and with the help of unsetting command how we are going to unset the variable which is already declared. And we've seen that environmental variables, that too in uppercase letters we have to write how many environmental variables are there, and with the help of env and printenv, with the help of these two commands how we are going to list out all the environmental variables. So we've seen all these things. Thank you.